might just be people feeling that he's not the right style for their team. Something similar. We'll have to find out from the players as the tournament progresses. We could well see him still in North America. Kensei going to be the first ban away here. I mean, Kensei, I think, is a reason not to pick Silvernail in himself, but with Kensei off the table, I think it's a much more viable.
Yeah, I mean, anything that excels at diving onto a backline can cause some trouble for Silvernail. Obviously, Silvernail has that outplay potential.
Yep.
He puts down those stakes, creates the wall, uses Rebuke to knock targets into the wall after they try and fail their dash through it. You can actually 1v1 these assassins as long as you're able to outplay it, but it is very difficult to actually consistently outplay an assassin like that.
I have a bold prediction of we're going to see Silvernail get buffed slightly in the next patch. He'll become meta, and then Blackfeather will become meta because you can use your ult to block his ult. Well, bold prediction. I realize that's like a patch and a half ahead, but I think that that could be an interaction we end up seeing eventually. Grumpjaw going to be the first lock-in. Pretty unsurprising, really. Incredibly strong right now. A very safe first pick as well, just because he's so versatile. You can put him on any single role, like, just complete comfort.
A Scarf getting grabbed very early is actually a bit of a surprise. Not surprising to see Scarf, but to see Scarf as a first pick. He's a hero that usually doesn't get prioritized very heavily. Tony obviously makes a lot of sense in pretty much any composition. Tony can just find a way to excel. You can put him into the top lane, you can put him in the jungle, you can play him as a captain. So that versatility and the variety you can play with him.
The big question for me with this Scarf is, do Nova commit to grabbing a Reza here in the second rotation? Because it's kind of early to pick a Reza. They can, because they still have 3 picks, they could just go full peel at that stage. But Reza does very well into Scarf. If you can get onto that backline, you will delete him immediately. So it's a potential pick, but it's also a little risky to pick it on second rotation.
You've also got the Fortress there to help with those dives, to help with that deep dive. We are going to see the Baron come through.
Baron is.
Question of, is it going to be Weapon or Crystal Baron? Obviously, normally you expect Weapon Baron, but PT Lamb may be putting some questions into people's heads on that one.
Yeah, definitely making a statement for CP Baron. I've got to say, not a fan personally of the CP Baron, but statistically speaking, if I'm not mistaken, he is the highest DPS hero in the game.
Yeah, he is. So
if you can land every ability.
Ever since Baron came out, it was always, if you hit every ability, he has the single highest DPS potential in the entire game. Obviously, hitting every single Porcupine Mortar is not going to be happening, but if you can hit a lot of them, then you can get that damage that we saw PT Lamb doing earlier.
Lyra locked in as well. This is a full-on hard engage composition from Nova. I mean, this is kind of the style you expect from Nova. They like to fight, they like to get scrappy and really force these issues. Baron, not really the kind of hero I would expect in that kind of composition, but certainly one that can follow up. I'm curious to see how they round this one out, but definitely very aggressive composition from Nova. Lorelei going to be locked in, you'd assume, as a carry at this point. Very little weapon power damage on the side of Nova.
Yeah, they're going to be relying a lot on this Baron.
Unless
maybe Grumpjaw picks up a little bit as well, but you expect this to be a weapon power Baron with a CP Lorelei as well, so that they have that mix of damage. Over on the other side, we do see that composition a lot tankier, a lot more beefy frontliners on the side of Vegetable Juice.
It has to be said, this is a very different draft to what we saw in Europe as well. We're seeing kind of more aggressive compositions here in North America, which over the course of the VPL hasn't been the case. North America has been the more defensive side, but in Europe earlier, we were seeing protect the carry compositions basically versus dive compositions all day. Whereas now we're just going to see 2 dive compositions battling out.
And it should be a lot of fun because both these teams are going to be looking for fights. They're both going to be looking for kills. It's not really, there's not massive pick potential for either side. Like they can get picks, but that's not going to be the focus for either of these teams. They want those all-in team fights.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're just about ready to jump on into this one. It's Nova up against Vegetable Juice. I gotta say, I think compositionally, Vegetable Juice have a slight edge here, but we'll have to find out as we head on to Sovereign's Rise. Nova Esports up against Vegetable Juice. I'm gonna pass it over to Humanist and Flash X.
Well, I hope everybody's ready for some North American vainglory. My name is Humanist. I'm joined by Flash X, and we have a wonderful series to start things off.
Wonderful indeed, and things were already heated in the draft lobby. These 2 teams going back and forth at each other. Things starting off with a little bit of a bang, but both teams going to be able to find a little bit of a reset and just go back to farming.
Dude, that was some spicy chat right there. At first, I wasn't sure if they were serious, but it definitely turned around. Now, Truth of the Light taking a lot of damage. Truth of the Light's down. First blood over over to the vegetables. They'll take 2. How about those apples?
Vegetables getting the apples for themselves indeed. And starting things off pretty well. 2 kills, gonna be really good. Stealing away that crystal treant even better. Meanwhile, Suki on this scarf in the bottom side jungle, just, you know, calmly, quietly, collectively getting farmed. Gonna be so good for Scarf and helping him scale. I think that this is going to be one of our most exciting series of the day.
Do you have a favorite coming into this as far as just the overall team? And then do you have a favorite based off of draft?
All right, overall team, gonna have to give it to Nova. Nova definitely the more experienced of these 2 teams. They're all incredibly gifted, mechanically skilled players. However, I actually really like the draft of Vegetable Juice. They're a little bit tankier. They have those power picks in the backline. I'm not a huge fan of mid lane Lyra. It does pack quite a punch if it scales up, but getting to that point takes quite a while. Baron, definitely one of the most powerful picks, and I think actually synergizes really well with that Grump Jaw, with the Fortress. But yeah, it's definitely going to come down to a skill matchup here.
Definitely going to come down to that skill matchup, and both teams after that early clash happy to just get into their lanes, take the couple jungle rotations, and kind of calm down a little bit here. As far as the lane Lyra, I think you made a good point, man. It definitely feels like it takes some time to come online. It's an interesting hero. It can almost be like deceptive in the amount of burst that can come out. Like you can have engagements where it falls a little bit flat. You have another engagement, you land everything, and someone just gets blown up.
Yeah, you leave that Imperial Sigil in the middle of a fight, and it's just gonna tick you down very, very quickly. Delphi looking to get a little bit aggressive on this Fortress.
Delphi just having a little bit of fun here, but Eco kind of disrupting anything that could have come out from the vegetables. So we're here, vegetables is looking to set up for this crystal treant, which should be spawning shortly here, I believe. Flicker controlling the brush will control the vision there as well. And this is a 5-man rotation over here. Crystal treant spawns, and suddenly Nova here are ready to fight, but Eco gone on by Fez. He's down. They've lost their Lorelei now. Erica as well, taking some forward barrage damage. Blanks, one more attack would have had the kill. And that's Crystal Treant plus now 3-0, 3.5 minutes in. Vegetable Juice looking quite good here.
They are looking quite good. Unfortunately, not going to be able to secure both Crystal Treants this time around. Truth did have that nice invade up into the bottom side jungle to steal it away. Kaio 3 and Fez looking to potentially turn things around, but they might be two in over their heads.
They're in too deep, Flash. Looks like it's now 4-0 Truth. And they were getting, what appeared to be a nice invade down, but that rotation over, Fez getting it done. And this Dragon Blood contract going to work on this Flicker here.
Yeah, it really does put in quite a bit of work. Nova, they're going to have to regroup, get a little bit more composed if they want to swing things back in their favor. We saw the Crystal Power Baron early in Europe, not a hero that we've seen too much of. I wasn't a fan of it. PT Lamb certainly making the most of it. Maybe we'll see the same thing out of starting as this game progresses, but right now, he has not had the impact that his team has needed him to have. Truth of Light sitting at 0-2 on this Baron. Definitely not the early game that you really want. But Baron, one of those heroes, starts off slow and just becomes a monster in the late game.
So this isn't the point where you sell your build and go CP at this point, Flash?
I don't think that would be the move, especially when you don't have Churn Walker on your team. I don't think it has quite the same synergy. But Truth of Light, obviously, super gifted, mechanically skilled player. He could probably make that work if he wanted to.
I like the synergy that you pointed out earlier. A couple items, Pulse Sweep out for the Tony, Serpent's Mask coming out for Sky, but the synergy between that Fortress and Baron, like as he gets into the late game is he's incredibly mobile if he's able to get his jump jets and reset his jump jets with attacks, but Delphi like adds that next level of chase, which could be really great for them now. Taunt on to Truth, another fight over the Crystal Tree, but they blow up Scarf immediately, trying to focus down Truth. Vegetable Juice doing a good job here, looking for more, or did they just zone back and then chop to focus the Crystal Tree? Eco moves in. Did Eco get the Crystal? No, Erica got the Crystal Tree, and now Erica pays for his sins. He'll fall down. Crystal Buff goes over to Polyphemus. He'll be able to get back. Kyo low, but stays alive. A little polite company and good company to have in an engage like that.
Absolutely. Juice continuing to apply this pressure. It's so interesting though. Despite the fact that Juice has 6 kills, they don't even have that much of a gold lead.
Well, they just took down, was that starting that they taunted back and took down right there? That was pretty nice rotation down through the Crystal Trance. And with that, they're on to Ghostwing down here. These guys are rotating super clean. They look really good right now.
They do look super well polished. The rotations, I mean, that's so important to point out right now. They have been at these buffs every single time they have came back online, and understanding those rotations and preemptively positioning yourself is such an important mechanic for these players and teams to have to be successful at the higher level. You see the best teams like Tribe, like Queso having those things down, and for what I would definitely consider a newer team, Vegetable Juice looks absolutely phenomenal.
Now, Vegetable Juice coming out playing like a very well polished team, and I think also, you know, when you have a Flicker on your team, you definitely want it. You really like to play from ahead, and while it's not a huge lead, they have allowed themselves to put down a little bit of forward vision and control the map in a way that Flicker is having a pretty serious impact.
Yeah, his impact has been really good. Eco on this Lorelei, if he were to go for, you know, that Super Scout 2000, being behind is pretty rough for the side of Nova. They are being dominated as far as vision control goes. I mean, there's just scout cams galore out of the side of Vegetable Juice. They know where Nova is at all times. Truth and Delphi starting to get a little bit aggressive on this bottom lane turret as Flicker gets sent pretty low, but Vegetable Juice controlling this rotation on the Crystal Treant that does not belong to them.
Controlling that rotation, indeed. A defensive arcane passage back here. It looks like this bottom turret should fall. Flicker really can't defend that up against two. My question though is, are Nova kind of playing the long game here, intentionally allowing themselves to kind of be moved around the map? They're letting some things being taken, but there's good farm. Like if you look at 49 last hits for starting, 40 for truth. They are out farming their opponents, not like dramatically. Scarf actually goes down. Dude, they're gonna get Finn as well. Yeah, they chase him down. You've got the Fortress. They go for two. Nice turnaround.
That's a great turnaround by Nova, pulling themselves into the gold lead for the first time. Unfortunately, we do have Erica Kane on that Grumtrot falling in top lane, and which will almost certainly be Juice's first turret of the game. But yeah, Nova, they have to play the long game. Their heroes take much longer to come online and ramp up. Taking that mid turret though for Nova, that's a critical objective that's going to open up the map a lot for them and really pay dividends as this game progresses, provide more time to allow that Lyra and that Baron to scale up. Truth has the Serpent's Mask online, looking for that breaking point second. Starting might be in a bit of trouble though.
He uses the arcane passage back. They want to chase onto starting. They got to pull him back there. Suki lands Spitfire actually onto the Fortress Dragon's Breath coming forward, and I don't know, that's actually, it feels a bit surprising they couldn't capitalize and find one kill there.
Definitely unfortunate. Flicker popping the Moon Cloak. Nova needs to be careful. Juice is looking to go straight onto this Ghostwing though.
Yeah, Vegetable Juice really putting the squeeze onto Ghostwing. Now this is Finn forced to blow that fountain. A defensive position from the Vegetable Juice. They jump back in. They want Truth of Light. Can they get him? It's getting turned around. They've lost 1, 2. Truth with a double kill. There's 3 down. Vegetable Juice getting squeezed down. That's the ace. Now 8 to 9, just about 10 minutes in here, as Nova Esports totally flipped this game on its head.
Yikes. Juice getting cooked alive. Nova turning it up, putting the pressure on them. That's going to be a ghost swing for them. Baron's going to press out this bottom lane, already starting to put a ton of pressure onto this tier 2 mid lane turret. Nova have turned it up a notch. They're starting to hit their stride. A lot of their carries hitting these major power spikes. Truth sitting on almost 3k gold. He's going to be picking up that breaking point. A little bit of defense, that block to go along with it. Starting now has the dragon side, the damage on Nova starting to look awfully scary.
Yes, like suddenly these guys looking pretty strong indeed. I was about to ask you, like, what do you expect the build to be on this Lyra? What do you come out next?
Pretty standard stuff. I think that with Lyra and a lot of the changes to her over the course of the last year, she wants to play at a distance. I think he should go Clockwork next. He's very, very reliant on both his Imperial Sigil and his Bright Bulwark for damage. That's a good engagement, though.
Yeah, that's a beautiful engagement right there. Bada boom from Polyphemus will go ahead and dissuade the aggression off, but Blanks just gets deleted, and that's the sign of a really aggressive, talented team. Typically, when you're seeing those Arcane Passage into the Bright Bulwark, it's so good against shutting a hero like Sky down.
Absolutely. And on that Lyra, I mean, you used to see an item like Alternating Current being very strong. I don't think that that's what starting should necessarily look for right here. I would really like to see him pick up either a Clockwork or a Broken Myth. I think would be pretty good for him to go with as well. Flicker in a bit of trouble.
Flicker looks to be caught out here. Will block off the fish food. Actually kiting back very far. Have Nova Esports overstepped themselves. A Mooncloak. Now Death from Above splitting Nova. Arcane Passage over the Death from Above, but a 3-man pull back. Vegetable Juice. What can you get out of this? They've taken down Eco. Fez has fallen as well. Now Truth looks like he'll be second to fall. Iron Cannon will connect onto Blanks, but it will not be enough to drop him down into the land of death. Up in top, looks like Erica will finish off this turret rather shortly. Actually, lets the lane minions finish it off, and a nice defense from Vegetable Juice.
That was great out of the side of Vegetable Juice. That's exactly what they needed to try and turn this around. They're still playing at quite a big gold deficit that they need to try and close up a little bit, but Nova, they're gonna get pinched right here if they're not very careful. They might be able to pick up one kill, but Erica Kane and Delphi, I think they might be in a bit of trouble.
Maybe they like to get pinched. Flash, you know, who actually knows at this point. Suzuki, a wild ride through the Arcane Passage of Death. He's down for Vegetable Juice. You guys got to be careful. A nice Quibble landing onto a couple, but does not have the stun. Still level 7. Finn goes down. That's 3 clean kills for Nova Esports. Looking for more. They will take down Blanks, and Fez probably gets out of this one unless Truth comes over the wall. Truth, 3 breaking points stacks, 4, 5, and Fez stays alive.
Humanist, you called it, like to get pinched. Indeed, they completely turn that on their head, punishing Vegetable Juice even further. Nova looking very, very good, especially as these carries continue to ramp up. Truth has those double minions feet on the Baron. The crit is going to allow him to start scaling very, very quickly with these breaking point stacks. Both dragons online right now. The next team fight going to be absolutely critical for these teams to set up the rest of the game. Vegetable Juice, if they lose it or overextend, that's going to set Nova up to put the hurt on.
Nova feels like they're already putting the hurt on. Vegetable Juice, I feel like they just have to be careful. It felt like they kind of got split apart. Like, even though Nova was in a position to get pinched, still Suki was far forward in the lane, and like that Arcane Passage threw him deeper into the lane. He gets killed, and then it's a 4 versus 5 for his team.
Yeah, I want to talk about Fez's build on this Flicker. A little bit non-traditional from what we're used to seeing. A lot of Flickers going for that Pulse Weave, Storm Crown. The only thing he has right now is War Treads. That's all the utility that he's offering to his team. I think that when you do play, you know, one of these utility style junglers, you need to go with the more utility style items. I don't think the War Treads this early is necessarily necessary, but Nova picking up that Ghost Swing buff, that's going to create a little bit of room for them to get aggressive. Grumpjaw, Erica Kane not with them. That might not be
passage into the Bright Bulwark. Aggressive play here from Starting. Is it going to blow up in their face? Starting, he's down. It looks like Eco will fall as well, but the fight starts to spread out. Blanks zoned by Erica. Erica able to take one. He turns to Fez. Fez dropping low. The jump forward from Delphi. In Truth of Light, Polyphemus is going to go down as well. Nova Esports in the base. Are they making the call? Delphi says go. Get this Finn. I got an ion cannon coming in from Truth right here. It'll hammer down. Vein Crystal does his best to stun off for Kyo. Kyo trying to get back. Can he get back to the healing platform? No, he cannot. It's the second ace of the game. 19 to 13, 15 minutes in as Nova Esports put the pedal to the metal.
That's a big ace for Nova. That's exactly what they want. They're gonna take down that tier 3 turret. They've breached the base of Vegetable Juice. Unfortunately, though, not gonna be able to get to that armory. Just gonna back out instead, playing it clean and calculated. That last engagement, though, we need to see Nova staying together. They're too spread out. I think that if they do just group up as 5, these fights are going to be very much more one-sided in their favor. Starting step forward a little bit too far. He got absolutely deleted in that team fight. But if they can't be more coordinated, a little bit more calculated, I think that they are going to be able to just run away with this game.
So like starting, he jumped in and he got blown up, but I really like that actually. Like you shut this entire team's mobility down when you come in and drop a bulwark immediately, plus the burst damage. If Truth couples up with the jump jets in, you're splashing damage onto like 3 heroes. I don't see how you actually live through that if Nova engage aggressively on the same page.
I definitely agree with that. And I think that if starting does want to make a play like that, I'd love to see him pick up a Slumbering Husk. Right now, he's gotten a very much damage-heavy style build. I think that he'd be much more effective if he picked up that Husk like Sky just did. But right now, he doesn't have it. So with the build he has, it's definitely risky. It can blow up in his face if his team is not all on the same page. But right now, Nova playing really well, but they need to be careful not having Truth with them right now.
Truth moving up from the bottom through the river area on the map. Vegetable Juice will move out as a group here next to Black Claw, but there's nice vision down from Nova Esports. Nova know exactly what's happening. There are no surprises coming out of Vegetable Juice right now.
No, pretty predictable. Erica Kane on the scrum truck going straight for the Ghost Wing. Nova recognizing that Vegetable Juice had to go back, deal with some waves. They won't be in position to contest. The Moon Cloak pop, though. This could be the engage they want.
I know. Aggressive Arcane Passage into the bulwark one more time. Erica, he's stuffed up. Bada Boom will disrupt this fight here. Now Vegetable Juice look to turn it around. Blank getting some pretty good breaking point stacks, but it looks like his team is dropping down low as the Dragon's Breath melts on through. Nova Esports haven't lost anybody. 2 down. Is about to be 3 down over here for Vegetable Juice. Blanks Cerise to the other side of the fight here. 20 breaking point stacks, but Eco moves in with Delphi. They should have this. Like he's just trying to Cerise strike into a better position, but eventually there's nowhere to go. Triple kill coming through for starting all over as he chases that one down with the Arcane Passage, and it looks like this is the end right here.
This should be the end. Nova should be able to close things out right here. They're onto the Vein Crystal. Game number 1 going over to Nova. Hats off to Vegetable Juice, though. I think that they really had some nice plays. Certainly some signs of life. Their team very much committing to every single engagement. I mean, you see them giving over those aces, which is hard to watch, but it at least allows you to know that they're all committing together, and that's going to be very important for them. As long as they keep their composure in game 2, they can definitely turn things around.
Yeah, that was a thing of beauty there coming out of Nova Esports. We'll see what can happen in game 2. Vegetable Juice looks strong, but now to break it down, we'll throw it over to the desk.
Well, Nova managing to shush the naysayers. There was a really good early game coming out from Vegetable Juice there, but Nova, after a little while, managed to take control of the situation. And, I mean, it can't be ignored. Starting all over on this CP Lyra did wonders.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple, 1 or 2 times where he kind of jumped in on his own. The rest of the team wasn't immediately there to follow up, but then they still ended up coming out on top of the fights. But the last couple fights, the way that he went in with the entire team following up, when Nova is on the same page, they look incredible. And the biggest thing for me from this game is the fact that they went down early and managed to keep it together. They didn't get tilted. They didn't lose focus of their objectives, and they were able to close out.
I mean, that was our biggest negative for Nova moving into this game was, can they stay on top of their mental game? So apparently, absolutely they can, and managing to take that game 1 because of it. Let's take a look at where they are in the bracket after the back of that one as well. Nova 1-0 up right now against Vegetable Juice. Obviously, we are in the quarterfinal. They're fighting to move into that final position in Group B. They'll be winning their bracket if they can get on into the semi-final. We'll see if they're going to be able to pull that one off. But let's take a look at what happened last weekend with Nova in week number 3. They managed to take their series against Liberation X.
Yeah, and this was, their, again, the first test, the only really top-seeded team to have a test in their first matchup, as Liberation X had a lot of hype behind them coming into this one, just the return of Liberation X, but Nova really just kind of dealt with them pretty handily, I have to say. But now coming into this matchup again, this was one of those ones where this was kind of our upset alert, sort of coming into this, but looks like Nova has figured things out a bit. At least in game 1.
It's still very possible for Vegetable Juice to come back here. They showed definitely promising signs, but Nova Definitely the favorite. Showing this and also bringing out this CP Lyra pick. I wasn't sure if that was like a disrespect pick, honestly, because it's so long since we've seen CP Lyra. But showing that it wasn't just messing around. Like, this is a serious pick. He was doing seriously good damage, forcing the engages for his team. When his team followed up on those teleports as well, it worked wonders along with the Fortress. And also, it set up Truth. Truth on this Baron was able to just sit at the back of the fight, build up those stacks, and then clear things up.
Yeah, so many times we saw Truth just get those stacks built up and be virtually untouched. And then by the time someone from Vegetable Juice was able to try and go after Truth, and typically it was blanks on the sky. And once he got a few stacks, he tried to go in deep, but he just didn't have enough damage to deal with the stacked up Baron.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at the trending picks right now as we move towards the second draft. There's a couple of picks I really want to talk about, especially that Lorelei has been really upping in priority across the last few games. Lyra, I put as a trending down pick, apparently starting disagrees, just wants to change what role it's in.
Yeah, and just shaking things up a little bit there, but you know, this is really just how much priority these heroes are seeing in the draft. Lance, again, has been starting to creep in a little bit more and more. I would expect to see him become much more prevalent and featured as we go on, as teams begin to really start to solidify what they want to be playing on this current update.
Absolutely. And let us know what you want to see on the current update. What's been working for you in solo queue. Hashtag VPL on Twitter is how you can get involved in the conversation. And join us on the desk here with what you think is going to be coming out in these games. I'm definitely excited to see what the draft is going to look like for the likes of Nova, because, you know, CP Lyra, not something I was expecting. And I'm curious whether that's wanting to hold their strategies close to their chest and go with something that they don't quite think is meta, but they're comfortable bringing on into the game, or whether this is something that they think is going to be one of the new top mids.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see. Only time will tell on that. I'm curious to see if we're going to see that Baron start to get targeted, because obviously we saw it do wonders in Europe. We just saw Truth do absolutely incredible with it. And it's one of those picks that if you don't think you can deal with it, you have to take it off the board.
The biggest thing for me, honestly, is that's what Blanks was using last week. When Vegetable Juice have had success, it was Blanks on Baron that was kind of the core member of that. Nova taking that away from them in the last draft, I think, was a huge part of the loss for Vegetable.
Yeah, and now that you're on A side, you know, is Baron something that you're willing to first pick? It's
so scary to first pick
I don't think
Baron.
it can be first pick, but then you run the risk of it being within the first two picks on the side of Nova. So, and you know, looking to take that away, they are going to stick to the Tony.
You can build an entire composition against the Baron.
Yeah.
Kensei is taken off the board right now, but even if I'm Nova, even if I'm super confident, I still think Baron as a first or second pick is just too early in the draft.
Well, it definitely will be a benefit to Vegetable Juice if they can get that Baron on their side, because we know how comfortable they can be with it. We've seen Blanks be able to have phenomenal performances with that hero. It's going to be the Grumpdraw Fortress. So again, this early game, the high aggression composition already starting to be built by the side of Nova.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking for that engage with the Fortress. Grumpdraw, I think, just fits into about any composition at this stage. Honestly, he's so strong. And we'll see where Vegetable Juice want to go with this. Obviously, hovering Arden right now, completely unsurprising. Like, so far, these first four picks are very just standard across the board. Now we're getting into territory where they have to decide the direction of the composition they want to go with. If I'm Vegetable Juice right now, I want to go with a defensive composition, kind of a protect the carry style thing. That's what's worked for them in the past. Kensei's taken off the board, so a lot of dive is gone. Like, Samuel, perfect pickup. It works exactly with what you're looking to do. Maybe I would have liked to see the Baron at that point.
Yeah.
Third pick in the draft, like, it's a little bit safer to go for. You know that you're against the Fortress, but you're going to be against some kind of engage against Nova regardless, so maybe this Baron escapes them now.
Yeah, I could be going over to the side of Nova if Nova once again wants to take that away from the side of Vegetable Juice and, you know, put it right back on Truth. They are going to grab it. So I gotta say I like the decision from Nova to, again, not only get themselves a strong hero, but taking away one of the comfort picks from Vegetable Juice. That's just top quality drafting.
Honestly, now we need to see Vegetable Juice change up the style. We need to see something aggressive come out. Like, think of something like the Reza still available. Something like Reza with Lorelei would work wonderfully. Whether Reza with Grace, something that's like an assassin that can jump onto this Baron, force the issue in those situations, and something that can protect him when he does that. We've already got the Tony and the Samuel as well. Honestly, you want the Kensei, but it's banned.
Yeah.
Kensei would be the perfect pickup here, but obviously it's taken off the board. It's a struggle because they'd already locked in the Samuel. You don't really want to go double CP. Sky is going to be the lock.
Yeah, and the Sky, again, has the ability to get onto that back line, but we saw the issue with it in game number 1 where you need to be stacked up as Sky before you can go try and fight the Baron, but Baron's going to be stacking up the entire time as well. So you end up in a really tough situation. They're hoping that with the Arden and the Tony, I would like to see, again, another sort of protection type hero, but they're going to go aggressive with the Anka.
I was about to bring this up. I was like, okay, do you just go triple carry here? The answer is apparently yes. Send the Samuel to the jungle, have your Sky as your bottom lane, and Anka as your mid. That's what they're going to go with here. They have an answer for the Baron now. The question is, can they pull it off?
Yeah, they could also put the Samuel in the middle with the Anka in the jungle. We have seen Anka jungle before, but they need to do something to try and get a lead for this Anka, because if they fall behind, this is not a composition. First of all, they don't have a very good composition for playing from behind, but the Nova composition is very good at playing with a lead.
But Nova composition, especially the Celeste last pick, I love, because if Anka does go into that middle lane, Celeste is going to give her such a hard time in those early levels. It's so difficult to be able to go against a heavy lane bully like Celeste that has the range on you as Anka. Until you're level, until you've got a few levels behind you, you've got some items, you're not going to be able to contest.
Yeah, so this is looking like a little bit of an uphill climb for the side of Vegetable Juice. Their composition, they have an identity. They definitely want to just go in and get those burst kills onto the Baron, onto the Celeste. But are they going to be able to survive doing that?
I think that this is not necessarily Vegetable Juice not doing so well in the draft, more Nova really drafting well here, not allowing them to be able to play around it. Let's get onto the game though and find out which draft is going to be the strongest. It's game number 2 here between Nova Esports and Vegetable Juice. We'll see if Vegetable Juice have what it takes to push this to a 3-game series, or if Nova are going to walk straight on into the semifinals.
What's up, everybody? I hope you're ready for game 2 between Vegetable Juice and Nova Esports. My name is Humanist. I'm joined by Flash X. We had a spicy little game 1 and quickly into game 2 here.
Definitely gonna be a hotly contested game number 2. These two teams do not like each other at all. Some of the spiciest lobby chat I've seen in quite some time. Nova sticking to their guns, doing a lot of the same of what they did in game 1, bringing back the Fortress, bringing back the Grumpcha, bringing back the Baron. They know what they like. They're sticking to it. They are just trading out some jungle here in the early game.
A little bit of a jungle trade out here. You do see Erica watching from the wings, Eco starting all over as well. And you have a 5-man rotation from Vegetable Juice, but a 3-2 rotation out of Nova Esports.
I think Nova probably wins the upper hand of that. Truth and Delphi getting that top side jungle for free. They're going to push in their lane, make Vegetable Juice miss a few last hits here up in the top lane, and you do see by the gold it's very, very slight, but they're just going to be able to go back, get their own jungle now, and they definitely got the upper hand in that first rotation.
They did. No, I think that's the biggest thing I saw is what you pointed out. Like, just by that rotation, he's missing a wave. They're getting more off of the map, and now because they drop into the jungle at the same time that he's collecting that wave farm, they do actually take a little bit of a net worth lead.
Absolutely, continuing to scale up. Truth looked so strong on Baron in game number 1. One of those heroes that traditionally starts very, very slow, as he did. But as soon as he started to hit some of those major power spikes, the Serpent's Mask, the breaking point, then a little bit of crit, that is where he turned things on. That is where the game blew wide open. I'm sure Nova is going to be looking to do the exact same thing yet again, and Vegetable Juice needs to find an answer. Polyphemus on this Anka might be able to find some of that answer. I mean, Anka definitely one of the powerhouse burst heroes. If they can get onto a squishy hero like Celeste, like Baron, she could just blow them up in seconds, and that's exactly what Vegetable Juice is going to need to be able to do this game.
It feels like it could be pretty strong against the Baron, against the Celeste, but like, how does that actually play out?
You need to be able to find a mark very early on in the team fight, have things get mixed up a little bit, have the Tony go in, force Nova onto their back foot, and then as soon as they're retreating, Anka blinks in, throws out her daggers, splits, gets back out, rinse and repeat. That damage is very hard for anyone to deal with. And it's going to be up to Nova too to get these Slumbering Husks online so that burst damage isn't overwhelming, so that they can survive through one of Anka's combos. Starting though, going a little bit low down in the mid lane.
Starting a little bit low, as you say, but he's feeling all right. Still has that crystal buff, and should be able to hang in range. Nice body blocking from Eco. Doesn't even matter because they're not grouped up. It's not going to be splashed. Well, there's a little splash damage for you, but nice body blocking by Eco.
Both these teams rotating so well. They understand when these jungle timers are coming back online. Erica Kane, I think he's done.
Yep. Easy first blood, says Vegetable Juice to the Nova.
That was a little bit of an overstep. Erica Kane wanted the steal onto those jungle camps, but when you A in like that, you don't have a way to get back out. You can't do that. You need to play a little bit safer, a little bit more passive. Vegetable Juice picking up first blood yet again, but the gold is still dead even.
Blank's going back to this weapon Sky, and I don't know if it's the teams that have been picking it, but I haven't seen a lot of success on this weapon Sky recently. I know a lot of like high skilled players like to go to this because they can feel they can get a lot done, but it just hasn't felt effective in the VPL Summer Open.
I have to agree with you. I mean, Weapon Sky is certainly something that we see very meta in ranked queue as well. She can dance very effectively around a hero like Celeste. When Blanks played it the first time against the Lyra, obviously not as good. I think it's situationally better here in this game. Allows you to engage and disengage around the Catherine as well, but she's just not going to pack the same punch that a weapon power Baron is able to punch, and she needs to find the opening early on into this game if she wants to be able to stay even.
Oh, looking at farm across the board, 28 last hits for Blanks. Well, I say that Fez taking a lot of damage up in top. Ultan back, Truth able to get the kill. Is Truth in trouble? Jump Jet's back. They're not going to get onto Truth. In fact, it looks like Suki might go down as well. Delphi flexing up over here on Vegetable Juice.
Attack of the Pack is so strong at level 6. Blanks in a little bit of trouble, but he's going to turn things onto Truth.
Dude, that's the Surya Strike, allowing him to get into that aggressive position, but it will be his own demise as Delphi takes one. Now jumping onto Polyphemus. Polyphemus looks like he gone too far, has the healing flask, but should still die. No, turns around. He will live. I mean, it is always such a major loss when you pop your healing flask and you still die.
100%. Nova, I really don't think has the stronger early game composition right now, but they are making it work in their favor as Eco picks up another kill onto the Anka, no less, in the top lane. Vegetable Juice starting to wilt.
Yeah. Well, Eco moved in. He knew that the healing flask wasn't out for the Anka. Moves in. He takes it easy peasy right there. And that's exactly what you want to see. Like, dude, if you got your captain making those solo kill plays like that, it just frees up the map for your cores to really just farm till their heart's content. And maybe someone whose heart is content is Erica, who actually goes over the wall and a very defensive play. There are 5 heroes down here on the bottom side of the map for Vegetable Juice, and this Grumpjaw still gets away.
Yeah, that was close. He managed to hang on to his A to get out of that one over the wall. Definitely the much better decision. Vegetable Juice grouping up just a little bit. Anka has her Spellfire online. A lot of damage, but picking up a huge Solar Storm onto Blanks.
Yeah, Blanks just getting put down there. That's a nice shot. I mean, it's always nice to see those or starting on a player with big damage skill shots like that. Now, Drifting Dark, Malice Verdict coming out. Eco dropping low, but with the Fountain, he stays alive. They turn it around. They take down Tsuki. With that, they should be getting their Crystal Chant as well. And a super clean drop rotation right there out of Nova.
Nova not overstepping their boundaries, finding a little bit of reset. Even though Ghost Wing is online, almost certainly it's going to be the next objective that they look for. They want to make sure everyone's healthy. They want to make sure everyone has had a chance to shop. Erica Kane going to grab this healing treant really quickly. And because, they're not being seen anywhere on the map, I would have really liked to have seen Vegetable Juice respond to this just a little bit better. But, I mean, that's going to be a free Ghost Wing going over to Nova. And like I said, I don't think Nova had the better early game composition, but having this early game lead That's going to be very hard to deal with if you are Vegetable Juice going on into this later stages of the game.
Erica stuffed up with the help of Delphi. Cerise Drag won't matter as Blanks gets taken down in the bottom lane. Looks like Turret will go down as well. Super clean play. Up in top, though, it's Polyphemus able to take down Truth, but Eco moves into lane. Eco, can he find a return kill? Looks like he can. Starting, Sayer Fez is about to get dropped. Helio in an attack. Is he going to take down? He stays alive through it. Polyphemus will drop, though, on that Anka. Fez just getting out just a sliver of health.
Yeah, there's a great block right on the end of it, or the Spellfire on starting. Celeste would have taken him down. Starting, a phenomenal Celeste player. This is going to be the top lane tier 1 falling. Nova extending this lead, 4K gold. They have to be feeling super good. Such a deep dive almost on the tier 3 turret in the bot lane by Delphi and Erica Kane. Vegetable Juice are being chopped up left and right and being turned into juice themselves.
Chop the juice! Oh my god, I didn't know you could squeeze juice this hard, but Nova Esports have found a way to do it.
They're playing pretty well right now. Celeste, Dragon's Eye, Spellfire online. Truth, whenever he's ready, can go ahead and pick up his breaking point. These are huge power spikes. It's sub 10 minutes into the game. Nova, great rotation, grouping up in the mid lane. I don't think this mid turret is long for this world.
Let's count it down. 1.2 seconds right there. Okay,
And
maybe
it's
not
gone.
even that much.
Yeah, great stuff out of Nova. They talk the talk. They're walking the walk here. Now, all the tier 1s gone for Vegetable Juice. That's going to allow Nova to rotate wherever they want. Erica Kane, huge damage on the Blanks in the bot lane.
Big damage down in bot, but this top engage is blowing my mind right now. Like, why didn't they pull the trigger onto Truth or Delphi? It was a 3 versus 2 situation. They put more damage down, but then they backed off. They played defensively, and they will trade 1 for 1, but it feels like a huge mistake out of Vegetable Juice right now.
It's definitely a mistake indeed. It's going to allow starting some room to get a little bit of damage onto this mid turret. Kaio 3 on the Arden. Not going to be able to do too much. I'm sure starting sees the Samuel rotate into frame. He might look to head out as he drops the Drifting Dark, but starting relentless, not really backing up, is Delphi's rotating in on the Fortress.
I mean, these guys are so far ahead right now. I know that like the overall net worth, it's not like some of the devastating leads we've seen, but they're controlling everything on the map. And the biggest thing for me, I'm looking once again at Blanks on the sky. And with the Serpent's Mask building into a breaking point, and you're not even close to finishing the breaking point, like your impact is nothing. There is like 0 impact on this game.
Erica Kane looking for the Sweaty Bush play. Ghostwing online. Black Claw coming up in about 30 seconds. These are going to be the objectives that Nova really needs to capitalize on. Great steal by Erica Kane onto the Gold Oak. Feels bad for Vegetable Juice, man, but Nova looking good as they keep the control onto this weapon power treant. They're gonna look to group, but starting Truth all by himself up in the top lane.
Truth by himself, but he's really not scared. Is he gonna take down Polyphemus? 1 more attack, he would have it. No, it would have been 2 more attacks. He's gonna die while jump jetting. Erica will move up, almost getting that weapon buff on his A there. Polyphemus exploded. Good night, sir. Hello, what just happened? Okay, bud. Erica stuffed up, having a little bit of fun up there, getting that kill while his team shoves down the mid lane. It was all a distraction, Flash. Solar Storm will rip on through Vegetable Juice. It looks like Nova, this is the time to maybe back up, or they look for the Regoose. Now, Taunt onto starting. Gauntlets down, starting, taking a lot of damage. This is going to be a dead Celeste. Blast Tremor does fly on through from Nova. I'm not sure how many that connected on, but buys a little bit of time for Delphi and Eco to try and weasel their way out. Eco should die. Delphi's definitely out. And a bit of an opening here for Vegetable Juice. Not a big one, but a little bit.
Vegetable Juice has a few seconds to try and capitalize on this and take down these dragons. I think that's a great heads-up play to go straight on to Ghostwing. They needed this, and if they can use the Ghostwing buff to their advantage, they just got some huge bounty kills, a lot of gold in all their pockets. Now with the Ghostwing, this could be the turning point, if there was one, for them to try and get back into this.
Erica, let's see if he has something to say about this. As Ion Cannon comes on down, Delphi's here as well. He marks Suki. They're dropping back, a lot of damage piling up. 2 down. Looks like it'll be 3 as Polyphemus drops. The Solar Storm comes through a little bit late to the party, but nevertheless, it is exactly what they wanted. A double kill for starting all over as Blanks hits the dirt. And let's see what's going to happen here as Suki trading one-on-one with Senor Delphi himself. Delphi, ooh, it's healthy as it'll eat up some of that, drink up some of that vegetable juice right there. And Fortress in a great place along with the rest of his team, 17-10, sub 14 minutes. They're knocking on the door.
Truth, not even there. It was a 4v5. He was split pushing top lane. He took down that tier 3 turret. The base of vegetable juice has been breached. Now it's going to be up to Nova to take down this Black Claw. The fact that Nova was at the disadvantage that they didn't even have the Ghost Wing buff, absolutely a huge testament to just how far ahead they are in this series. I'm surprised that they're not going for the Black Claw right now. I think that they're kill hungry. Erica Kane continuing to put on this pressure in the jungle, stealing away the weaponry.
Right in front of their face, man. Like, they're scared of the solo Grumpshot right now. Blanks will try to kite back, but just gets decked super hard. Eco connects with the Blast Tremor. Nova Esports moving forward like a hurricane. Polyphemus will try to buy some time. He actually gets a turnaround kill onto Erica, so that feels a little bit good, man. But in the meantime, you're like, where's the Celeste? Where is this Baron? Flash, I can't find them anywhere on the map.
Well, they would be doing the Black Claw for free, unchallenged, uncontested. This is a huge opening for Nova if their bot lane plays it slow enough. If Catherine and Fortress don't get picked off, this is going to be a big push. It's going to be very hard for Vegetable Juice to defend.
Polyphemus and Kyo still being distracted by Eco and Delphi in that bottom lane. Blacklaw marching forward, and we'll see how quickly they can take down this Blacklaw. It feels like it's not going to be too quick. Starting, we'll be doing a little bit of harass from range. He walks just around the edge of that death from above. And turret is down there into the base. Fez, a nice bada boom to disrupt things. Starting all over's down. Vegetable Juice, that's about the best start to this fight they could have hoped for. Now, Erica's here. Suki, what are you doing? Suki, you're too far forward. They will take down the Baron. So, 4 versus 3 at the end of it. A little bit of a sketchy situation. Blanks, now is your time to do something, bud. 4 breaking point stacks on this weapon Sky. It just feels impotent right here. They're going to lose Polyphemus. Are they going to lose anybody else at this point? I can't believe it. Eco, Erica, Delphi just manhandling this base of Vegetable Juice. Blacklaw still alive. They'll take another one. They're looking for Blanks. Blanks, I'm over here. Trying to kite back with a forward barrage. It's not enough, my man. And Fez, against the world, Flash, can he do it?
Suki respawning, it doesn't matter. Starting Truth, teleporting back into the base. Nova with the clean, confident 2-0 win over Vegetable Juice. They're going to be moving on into the semifinals, and they have got to be feeling really, really good about that one.
Yeah, man. Like, it's definitely a great game from them. It was a good game. I wouldn't say it's a great game. It was a good game from them, but there was some serious spicy trash talk happening before this game started. These teams are at each other's throats. Nova will take the victory. And with that, we'll go ahead and throw it back over to the analyst desk.